Hello, my wonderful Biafran brothers and sisters. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Well, this video you're about to watch now, or this broadcast, or this news you're about to watch, a lot of wisdom that attached to it. This one is just the concluded of, or the conclusion of the 2/3 day Biafra referendum convention being held in Finland by the Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic government in exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko. In this video, in this broadcast, in this program, I mean, a lot of things was said, a lot of things were deliberated, and a lot of issues was tackled on how to cut down or cut off the menace that have been ravaging the southeastern part of the country. I mean, the most important thing there now is that we have a referendum, despite the fact that it's not been announced yet in Nigeria, but at least the international community, most of them send their delegates, had attended this very particular convention, and it is for the benefit of the Biafrans, whether home or abroad. So as you are watching, please, I want you to do me one favor. At the comment section, please help me type hashtag Biafran to the nation, Biafran to the world, Biafran to any part of the country, and also on the mandate of Biafra and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, including Simon Ekpa. That is where we all shall stand. Whichever way we see it, anyhow you can get to do it, my dear, please, we need to do it because the international community is aware of Biafra now as it stands, and they are ready to do something about it. Well, I would not like to talk too much. I want you to just listen and hear exactly what I'm talking about. Like this message, share it, comment on it, and make sure you subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos that will come your way. At the end of this video, you will also hear my voice again to let you people know what I think that is.
We have been killed, molested, butchered. Our communities has been razed down, burned down by the Nigeria state-sponsored terrorists. The Boko Haram have infiltrated Nigeria military, Nigeria police, the DSS, and everybody knows that. And the reason they do that is to invent and take over our land and convert us into Islam, the Islamic movement. We are not against Islam as a religion, but we are against terrorists who cannot just let us be. Before 2021, we had no arms to defend ourselves. They came, they killed. Since after the war, we have paid the biggest price in Nigeria. And year by year, we cry to the international community. Nobody listening to us. Month by month, as you see on the screen, our people are being butchered. We cry. Nobody is reporting it in the international community. Nobody is reporting in international media. And then after 2021, before our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, formed the Eastern Security Network because of the Islamic movement, which is widely reported by international media. The invasion of the ISWAP to the south from the northern Nigeria, from Sahel to the Central African Republic, by the invitation of the ex-Nigeria president, Muhammadu Buhari. They came, they maimed, they killed, and Nigeria military sheltered them. This killing continues today until we say enough is enough. Today, within 2 years, we have raised army. Within 2 years, we've raised resistance fighters. Within 2 years, we have arms, sophisticated arms to protect our land. And today, we are not being killed like that again. Not only that we are not being killed like that as before, but the hope for the Biafra freedom is now showing green light. And let me tell you, we have just started. We will burn Nigeria down. If that is what it requires to protect our people, protect our land, we will burn them down. And after that, Biafra will come. I want you to understand that if you want peace, you prepare for war. What I've seen for the past 2 years is nothing to write home about. It is not anywhere in the media. Our people are being butchered, head chopped off by the people who are supposed to be protecting those people. The people they call governors in the southeast part of Biafra has become the tools and the killing machine. We are not going to forgive them. When Biafra come, they are going to face the Biafra law. That is, if they make it to that point. I welcome you all today to Finland. Finland is a country of peace and a country of freedom. As you all have seen, I believe every one of you have read a bit of history of Finland. They fought their way to what you see today. And they understand what is freedom. The problem of the Biafra agitation started in Finland. And it is going to end in Finland. When it started, it was like a joke. So many of my men here, members of the Biafra, so Paris, I greet to all of you. Yes, these are the men that make everything you see today possible because they stood their ground. In the middle of evil, in Biafra agitation, the middle of impunity, they stood their ground. That enough is enough. They single-handedly fought the DOS internally before we come out publicly. That's what happened. And so everything started in Finland and is going to end in Finland. Especially this man seated here called Kessler. All of you did a very great job. And Emeka, because these are the people who communicate with me directly. And Emeka, where are you? Yes. And then we have one of our Ishiaki elder called Clement Anyebu. This man is, when I call him Ishiaki, you know what I mean. If you want, anyhow you want it, he will give it to you. We have another one, Harry Chukwemeka, is he there? I can see you. And then we have Ifeanyi Oporo. Where is Ifeanyi? You see, and then where is our coordinator? Yes, yeah. No, I really appreciate this man. And then, of course, we have our European rep here. These are the people who stood their ground, fought secretly in Finland for us to come out at the end of the day, for what is happening now to start happening. And then, of course, every member of the cabinet, I want to thank all of you. the ministers that are here, from the beginning to the end, all of you are special. The reason why I am singling out Finland is not because they're better than you. No. As a matter of fact, the Biafra government in Heza cabinet is all at this point. So if you're a member of the Biafra cabinet, you are like a diamond. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. In this Finland, the gate of Biafra will be open. Remember that they are going to laugh you, they are going to mock you, they are going to doubt you, and then they will fight you, and then you win. That is the process. The stage we are now is the stage of fighting, and they are fighting us, and we're winning them. And I want you to understand the process, how this freedom is going to come. We are going to delegitimize Nigeria from the government to the security apparatus that are terrorists. After delegitimizing them, cutting their legs and hand. And by the time we declare Biafra, nobody will summon courage to shoot a gun. As I'm talking to you, it is happening. We defeat them every day. They come and they go in pain. Unlike before when they come to burn our villages unchallenged. Now they come and they meet resistance, a very powerful one. I want also to thank this man here, who is seated here. Yes. His name is Keyo. Mr. Keyo. Thank you. Mr. Keyo is just like a father. Mr. Thank you. Mr. Keyo. Mr. Keyo has taken a lot of bullets for me. Because he understands what is going on better than any other person. He has been with me since the time he met me to this point, and he believed in me. Mr. Keyo is the secretary of the UPF in Finland. Well, in the afternoon, I'm going to make my official speech, which will address a lot of things. I just want to welcome every one of you to Finland. This is the man that everybody wants to crucify. And like I said, God is going to use me to end Nigeria. Thank you, and you are welcome.
Now, and she is introducing the child, and then we now introduce them. Okay. Yeah. So in my video why don't we call her? Because Onyam are the government, right? So I will call her. Then she can. Yeah. All right. What a wonderful, wonderful speech. A wonderful speech from the most beloved Prime Minister in the world. We love you, sir, and thank you very much. Now we call on the Chief of Staff of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, Dr. Ngozi Arabeze.
Before you call, you consider about the road to July journey. Oh, you bear to the child, Eman Collie to good Pocha. That was the other one at Kimon, who gave me to up and put your so the Gasilana, the Mamma Montelocha. Come arising, son of man, shine, if I have one on the bar, Ogana. You got no kai. You got no kai. You got no kai. Metolia, you got no potwine. You got no potwine. You got no potwine. Omeloga one day, you got no kai. You got no kai. You got no kai. I know I'm up that. Okay, I'll come back.
Okay. All right. Greetings, everyone. Greetings, His Excellency, the Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, the honorable cabinet members, friends and family. Welcome to the Finland Biafran Referendum Convention 2023. My name is Dr. Ngozi Arabeze, the Chief of Staff for Biafra Government in Exile. And I'm going to welcome and introduce all the other cabinet members of the Biafra Government in Exile that has made this journey so far a huge success. And once I'm done with that, we'll be playing to you some of the things Brigade has been able to do. Let me start by introducing the Chief Executive, our own Prime Minister of the Biafra Government in Exile, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. Round of applause for him.
Yeah, touchdown, young way, man, the boy looking like $1 million. Yeah, I'm gonna see a billion band. So what's the plan? Who to that? Yeah, that's a love boy. Oh, if I can't go.
All right. Thank you so much. The next person I'm going to introduce is the Biafra government in exile, Finance Minister Oge Nkere. I also want to go ahead and introduce the chair of the Biafra Resolution Committee, Imam Maduabu. I want to go ahead and also introduce the Minister of Power, Victor Adam. I want to also go ahead and introduce the Minister for Coastal Region, Erawa Josephine Anirejoshi. I want to go ahead and also introduce the member of the board of the Biafra Ministry of Health, a former Nariel Chike. I want to go ahead and introduce the Minister for Biafra Pharmaceutical Board, Dr. Joy Irobi. Is she here? I want to go ahead and also introduce the member of the Women and Children Services, Comfort Anciano. Is Dorothy here? Dorothy? Oh. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Okay. And our Women and Children Services, Dorothy. Dorothy is here. Mrs. Nena Akabiro Ike of the eBay. Okay. The other members of the our Urban and Housing Minister, Ebenezer Anene Jr. Our Oil and Gas Minister, Bennett, is he here? Bennett. Thank you. Our Deputy Diplomatic Chair, Anthony Wieboka. Our Deputy Transport Minister, Ernest Stephen Amobi. Are you here? Okay. All right, it's not here. Our member of the Board of Nursing, I don't know. A member of our board sports ministry, Chizoba Benaventure, are you here? We have the chair of the Biafra Disability Commission, Rose Allen, Pastor Rose. we have Mbeze Caroline. Is she here? No, not here. Caroline didn't make it. Our Minister for Religious Tolerance, our Steve Ajubi, are you here? Steve. Okay. We have okay. Benedette, Annie, is Benedette here? Oh, she's not here. Okay, she didn't make it. So we have Blessing. Okay, so we have members of our media, Biafra Media, and we're going to go ahead and introduce them. These are the people that make us know about Biafra. They're letting the world know what we do. Let me start with the Deputy Information Minister, Ajere Raphael. Vam, are you here? We have, thank you so much. Other members of our team, we have Adadi Alamma. Our information minister, he was not able to make it. 247, I don't know if you're here, but we missed some of them are still airborne. And then we have those, I hope we're not missing anybody. I think we have the, everybody. So, some of, yeah, and then we have our own chair of CDC and the person that is the chair of this event, Professor Choma Okoma. Yes, so we have some of our members are still on the way due to their flight delays and all that. At this time, I'm going to hand over to Uche to probably introduce some of the liaison officers, and then we'll go to the video.
Yes.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Biafra Republic. Biafra Republic. I get him, but I want to see. So I am here to introduce our liaison representatives. First of all, I will call on the representatives for Finland, Mazi Paul Odinde. And representative number 2 for Finland is Mazi Henry Chukwemeka. And I'm calling on our representative in Ireland, Tina Udago. And also, she's already a government in exile cabinet member in the name of Blessing Wilson. And unfortunately, some of our representatives, due to some certain reasons, they missed their flight, so they were not able to be here on time. So we call on our representative from Netherlands, Mazi Uwoma. And the second representative from Netherlands as well. She has actually been the backbone to the planning of this event, and I want to personally also appreciate her in the name of Wada Anita Obi. I also want to call on our representative from Switzerland, Mazi Iwuji Okudele. And also our representative from Denmark, Richard Asonze. And our representative from Greece, John Ndubisi Ebo. We also have our representative from Sweden. I am not sure if he's already here or perhaps. Yes, Mazi Stephen Okerabam. Thank you, everybody. I am the representative for the Europe region, and I thank you all for being here. And so far, we want to show you what the government has achieved in a short video in terms of where we have been, how we started, who have worked with us, and what we have come up with in the last couple of years. It has not been an easy journey, and I want to thank our Honorable Prime Minister. I have learned a lot from him. I remember one of his sayings to me, "Imanka, Imankozo." Okay, I will go ahead to play the video. Sorry, before we move further, my apologies to our representative from Germany. That was my mistake. I want to also recognize our representative from Germany in the name of Mazi Owo. And also one of the cabinet members, our one and only Pastor Rose Allen.
All right. Please, ladies and gentlemen, we have to skip lunch. We have to skip coffee because the excitement is too much. So for us to really continue on this trajectory, I'm going to introduce the Deputy Minister of Information, Honorable Raphael Chiamaka Ajere.
Biafra Republic! Biafra Republic! Biafra Republic! Progress and equity. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, my name is Raphael Chiamaka Ajere, and you all know me as Pastor Vam Vam Vam. I don't have Vam Vam Vam. Biafra, Gabriel in our own time. Yes. Our leader, Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, said that instead of Biafra not to come, we'll be lowered down 6 feet. But we are going to stand to the last man standing. And I want to appreciate my Prime Minister, Odogu Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Dragon. I want to appreciate all the cabinet members here. Please, you should know that I am representing my able Minister of Information, Mazi Akbarawa Soni, who should have been the one, making this presentation, but he is unavoidably absent, but he is here with us in the spirit, also running the, engine room from his own corner over there, and we are making it happen for Biafra. So please, the keynote address presented by myself on behalf of the Minister of Information. Okay, warm greetings to all Biafrans that flew in from all over the globe to make today's convention a memorable event in Finland, and to all the cabinet members of the Biafran Republic government in exile. The existence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, our supreme leader, is what thank you very much. the existence of our leader, our supreme leader, Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, our leader, is what rekindled the fire of Biafra. Lieutenant Colonel Odumegwu Ojukwu, our eternal leader, Major General Philip F. Young, former president of Biafra, and many more heroes and heroines of old, set the paces in 1960 to 1970s, and their legacies have not died off in our own time. Here comes the pride of Biafra in the present time, Odogwu Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko. The Prime Minister, thank you. Thank you. The Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, you are the equation that the terrorist Nigeria contraption could not solve. To Biafrans, every one of you are a blessing and the fulfillment of the prophecy of our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Indeed, you are the finisher. Biafra Republic, peace, unity, progress, and equity. Now we're going to explain these words one after the other. Peace is where there is no presence of massacre, raping of our women, children, and men, desolation of communities, invasion of our lands by terrorists, inhabiting in IDP camps. These tasks have been our keynote to this very day, and we shall continue to make sure Biafra lands are peaceful for Biafrans by always destroying the assailants coming into our land. Put your hands together for that. Now, coming to unity. Unity of Biafrans will be fully achieved when Biafra is restored. The divide and rule tactics have been the seed of discord sowed in Biafrans since and during the genocide of Biafrans from 1966 to 1970s. And after the genocide with the Cold War, where all tribes and ethnicities of the Biafra Confederation states were made to see themselves as enemies, unification of Biafrans has been the task of this present Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko. Understanding the dangers of a disunited people seeking the cause of freedom and independence from a tyrannical government, I and the entire Ministry of Information and the media team applaud you for bringing all Biafrans together. Now, progress. Progress will be achieved when there is peace and unity. I implore all Biafrans to embrace peace by joining forces to destroy our common enemies, the Fulani terrorists, coming in the name of one Nigeria to rape, massacre, desolate, send many to IDP camps, cut off heads of babies, women, pregnant women, and men. Now, equity. Equity is what you all see in Biafra in all ramifications, where your dividends of democracy will be felt by all. Your resources will be harnessed by you, and the rich will not look down on the poor. It would be greedy of me if I don't give kudos to the entire information ministry, the IMC Biafra media team, from the beginning to the end. You all are doing amazing jobs and have a greater task ahead of you. The Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko, is a principal component of the media team, and we salute you, our Prime Minister. We thank you, our Prime Minister. Thank you for recording another historic day in our pursuit of freedom, the Biafra Self-Referendum Convention in Finland today. Our children, women, and men cannot be left out, especially those back home facing the brunt of the terrorist Nigeria government, where unarmed civilians are burnt in their sleeps. Our ESN, Eastern Security Network, BLA, Biafran Liberation Army, BRF, BAF, Biafran Navy, thanks for defending Biafra land. Put your hands together. I, Akbarawa Sonny, by the grace of Chukwu Okike Abiama, standing in as the Minister of Information, Media and Communication of Biafra Republic Government in Exile, ably here represented by my deputy, Raphael Chiamaka Ajere, wishes you all well during this convention and wish you safe trip back home after the convention. You will all see Biafra, and your sacrifices will not be in vain, as well as all works together to achieve Biafra. My Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, you are the pride of Biafrans. Thank you, everyone. And this speech is proudly endorsed by Anitiabet S. Anitiabet X Akibong, aka Akbarawa Sonny, Minister of Information, Media Communication, and presented by myself, Raphael Chiamaka Ajere. Thank you very much.
As in 1966, subjugation and unwarranted massacre of Biafra of thousands of Biafrans are the main reason for our agitation for independent state of Biafra, which must confront the dual evil of British imperialism and Arab Muslim expansionism. The confluence of these two evils in the principal reason Nigeria is structured to fail. It is also the singular reason Biafra freedom from Nigeria is inevitable, even though it is also the greatest impediment. It would be childish to assume that these obstacles have disappeared. However, this time we are probably better positioned to manage their complexities better than before, particularly on the account of egregious activities of the Nigeria state and their sponsors. We will use all available means known and unknown to mankind to fight for our freedom. We are already seeing the impact of the sit at home, which was initiated to demand the release of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We are going to fight, or we are fighting this freedom of Biafra in many dimensional ways. We are using the political approach, we are using the struggle approach, and we are using the diplomatic approach.
That's my Prime Minister. We must get there.
Diplomatic approach is the reason why we are here today in our numbers from all over the world. British imperialism. The British prejudice against Biafra and Igbos in particular played out again recently in a predictable fashion after orchestrating the kidnap, torture, and rendition of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The three co-conspirators had assembled in London to celebrate their feat. The British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, the Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta, and Nigeria President, ex-President then Buhari, assembled in London in the summer of 2021 after the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, not for economic summit, not for Commonwealth meeting, but for what appears to be the track glasses of champagne for a job well done. 2 years after Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was residential to Nigeria, he remained in solitary confinement despite his failing health and two court judgment for his release. Britain is yet to make public pronouncement denouncing abduction and continued detention of their own citizen, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Up to date, The sit-at-home initiated to demand the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and of course, Biafra referendum is having the desired effect and will remain a potential tool in our toolkit until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released. In one of Buhari's interview in London, he justified his policies and marginalization of the Southeast by claiming the region did not vote for him. The British interviewer did not attempt to educate the Amajiri president that a president is for all, not just those that voted for him. Buhari's disdain for the Southeast is epoch, and he would never resist an opportunity to slight the region. Despite making incendiary statement and infamously characterizing the region as a dot in the circle, those with the head of those put the numbers together have now revealed that Biafra initiated sit-at-home civil disobedience is causing Nigeria loss up to 30% of her gross domestic product. This is amounting to tens and tens of billions of dollars in loss. So a dot can translate to 30% of the domestic product. What a powerful revelation. For a region maligned with all manner of names, including landlocked. I also want to inform every one of us here today, even if Biafra becomes landlocked, we are not going to be the first country to be landlocked. Even the imperialist British was getting rattled too at the development from our civil disobedience, from that small dot. If Britain was disposed to a Nigeria president from the Southeast, they would have probably been able to persuade one of the major parties to field a candidate from the region, especially because it was the region turns to produce the next president. Rather, they opted to play the British card. They called P2B to 10 Downing Street and got him leave his party, PDP, and then run under the platform of a fringe party, Labour. Britain know that P2B could not win presidential election running on a fringe party platform. But in P2B, they saw an opportunity to use one stone to kill two birds. This particular evil were rejected by almost all of you here. P2B's participation in the sham election will give it credibility and at the same time distract us from making progress with our agitation for Biafra freedom. But all those pranks failed woefully. Let me also remind you that the total registered voters in Biafra territory, which is the combination of the South, so-called South-South and Southeast, were 24 million people. Out of these 24 million people, 20 million boycotted participating in the election for Biafra. The total number of people that participated in the election was about 3-something million. This is a referendum on its own. It will go down in the history. When Biafra has been declared, it is going to be part of our case after Biafra declaration, which is going to happen very soon. We are going to use their own mechanism, their own voting system, and their own statistics to justify our referendum. Our struggle has made giant strides, and we are ever closer to our freedom. The Arab-Muslim expansionism, as variously expressed by northern leaders, including former Kano State Governor Kwankwaso and the current Vice President Shetima, who is, by the way, was the founder of Boko Haram. Marginalization of Biafrans and Igbos in particular has become unwritten policy of the Nigeria state. The marginalization plays in several spheres of national life, from resources sharing to lack of appointment of Biafrans to sensitive position. There is a scandalous lack of infrastructure in Biafra land, indicating absence of the Nigeria federal government. The few federal roads that exist are poorly maintained. The federal government refuses to maintain those roads even when they are completely impassable. Yet, the federal government refused to grant state government permission to maintain sensitive federal road within their jurisdiction. For example, Onitsha-Owerri Road has been completely severed by gully erosion at Onitsha. On the other end of the city, the Onitsha-Enugu Expressway is impassable. In effect, except for the Onitsha-Saba Road, Onitsha town is essentially isolated, and the resultant traffic deadlock can result in journey of 1 hour taking upward of 8 hours. In addition to very inhumane roadblocks by the Nigeria Boko Haram infiltrated security agents. This has been the state of road in the region. The citizen with poor understanding of their right and obligation of their government to them are forced to live in conditions that we considered inhumane in the other parts of the world. There is nothing they have not tried. Without exception, foreign investors are steered away from the region by the Nigeria government. It is not by error that there is no government-funded industry in the area. No functional international airport, no railroad, no seaport, despite the fact that Biafra covers the largest segment of the Nigeria coastal exposure. Yet, they accuse you because of the civil disobedience for just 2 years. But for the past 50-something years, there is nothing to show for Nigeria presence in Biafra land. There is nothing anybody can do today for us to step back an inch. It is not by error that they are doing all those things they did, or they are doing at the point. In fact, the Niger Delta is the only major river delta in the world without a seaport. By comparison, Nile Delta has at least 2 seaports. Mississippi Delta has 7 of the 50 largest seaports in the United States. The Gangs seaport in the Brahmaputra Delta has 4 seaports, 2 each of the Indian, Bangladesh part of the Delta. Nigeria is possibly also the only country in the world actively pursuing policies to marginalize and strangulate its otherwise most productive population of 70 million Biafrans, as we have it today. The lack of the national inclusive agenda has been the bane of the country. It's always been different ethnic nationalities pursuing sectional agenda, with those in power pursuing policies that adversely affect the others, again underscoring the absence of nationhood.
And any idea of one Nigeria is merely a lip service destined to a catastrophic end. The dangerous diversity must be dismantled for us to be alive. The process of dismantling these particular dangerous diversities is the reason why we are here today. And the destruction of it will start today. Biafra extrication from Nigeria need not to be further delayed. The re-emergence of Biafra agitation of now liberation was initially anchored on poor governance and marginalization. However, the agitation and the liberation quickly changed to self-preservation after the US-led NATO forces deposed the Libya leader Colonel Muammar Gaddafi. It is widely believed that Islamic militants from that war soon set their eyes on Nigeria with the invitation of the northern politicians and Muhammadu Buhari when he invited them to enter Nigeria without visa. The wanted power returned to the north. The terrorists under several identities, including Boko Haram, ISWAP, Fulani herdsmen, and etc., quickly established presence in Nigeria. Their first footprint was abducting 300 Chibok girls from their school. The failure of the international community to rescue those girls emboldened the terrorists. Since then, they have acted with impunity and have taken a wide range of targets, ranging from invading military installations and killing soldiers, invading indigenous communities, and butchering scores of people, which has occurred with regular frequencies. Remember, those military people that they are killing are those who are not in alliance with them, because they have those in the military who have alliance with them and have oath of allegiance to give them information, and all agenda is to Islamize Nigeria. It was not long before elements from the north started verbalizing that Fulani in different parts of the world are Nigerians. We all see that on their national dailies and national newspapers, and even in televisions when they come online to tell you that Fulanis from all over the world are Nigerians, with express invitation for them to come and settle in Nigeria. These are people that were ranked number 4 most deadliest terrorist group in the world. To settle in Nigeria, they would need land, and to get land, they are not buying it. Unlike the Biafrans, go anywhere in the world from Nigeria to other African countries, we buy land, we build a house, we pay for it. Rather, they are forcefully invading indigenous communities and forcing them out of their land while leaving many dead. Those that survive the attack end up in internally displaced people's camp. There are millions of people now in those camps, and these rampaging Fulani invaders have had the infantry to still attack people in their camp, in these camps. The Fulani-controlled Nigeria state desire to increase Fulani population in Nigeria explain why the security operative have not been helping in checkmating or checking these activities of the invaders. In many instances, the security operative have been accused of aiding terrorist, inhuman activities, as they have not done much to stop them. In many instances, we saw where community leaders come out openly and publicly to lament that during the attack and
I will pray in the language of heaven, if you will permit me. Ezi onye nwanyị na Chineke na nke pụrụ ihe niile. Onye mmụọ na mmadụ na-efe. Onye mbara igwe na-egosi ọlụ aka ya. Onye na-adịgide ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-achị. N'ihi na ndị Igbo si na chi bụ eze. Anyị were aha dị etu a wee na-abụ ụmụ anyị. N'ihi na onye ọbụla gị na-abụ eze ebube dị ngọzi, egwu adịghị atụ ndị dị etu a. Anyị were IPOB wee nyefee gị n'aka eze Ebube dị Ngozi. Wee were ezinụlọ Biafra n'ụwa niile wee na-eche n'iru gị. Ka amara gị na ebere gị wee zuo oke n'ime ndụ anyị. Ka ị wee gosi anyị ụzọ nke eziokwu gị. Ka iru gị wee chaa n'ebe anyị nọ n'otu n'otu. N'ihi na o nweghị onye ọbụla eji ama atụ si na ọ bụ ya yiri gị eze Ebube dị Ngozi. Akwa ọbịa mere ụmụ gị bụ ụmụ Chineke anyị anaghị efe arụsị. Onye nwe mbi n'igwe biko anyị anaghị eme ihe ọbụla aka mere nna nke Ebere dị Ngozi. N'ihi na ọ bụ naanị gị kotonu na nsọpụrụ niile ruru. Onye nwe anyị bi n'igwe eze Ebube. Nna ndị ụmụ ogbenye. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ onye kere ihe niile ekere eke mana omeghị onye kere ya. Lekwa ka ebube gị si wee sachi ihe niile nke ikere eke. Lekwa ka ịma mma gị si wee zuo oke n'ime ndụ ndị gị. O nweghị ihe ọbụla nke anyị ji. Anyị enweghị egbe, anyị enweghị ma anyị enweghị ụta, anyị enweghị ego. Mana ọ bụghị na-edu IPOB n'ụwa niile. Aha wee na-ehi ndụndụ ebe niile ụwa sọtụrụ. Onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna ọ bụghị site n'ihe nke mmadụ dị ndụ mere. Ọ bụ site sọsọ na ebere gị na amara gị na ọmịiko gị na ịhụnanya gị ebe ndị gị nọ. Anyị wee na-akpọkụ aha nsọ gị wee na-aja gị mma wee na-eto gị. Na-asọ ọbụla dị ka ndị mmụọ osisi wee na-efe gị n'igwe nna nke Ebere dị Ngozi. Na anyị onwe anyị bụ ndị dị ndụ n'ala nke ndị dị na-akpa isi ala nye gị. Anyị si na anyanwụ na-egosi ịhụnanya gị Chineke nna nke igwe. Etu a ka kpakpando si wee na-eti. Na-asị na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ Chineke nna. Elu ugwu ma ndịda nna nke Ebere dị Ngozi. Ọbụla dị oke ufe nna nke igwe. Anyị wee na-asị na ọ bụ naanị gị na Chineke niile na ọ badara aka gị. Lee ka isi wee na-eme ma ila ndị iro ndị Biafra niile ebe niile ha nọ n'ụwa. I wee na-emefọ ndị ọjọọ aka si ha wee na-aba ha ọnụ. N'ihi na ka ha ọgbọ ndị si na Biafra agaghị abịa, ndị dị etu agaghị adị onye nwe m. Ha agaghị anọ ndụ wee hụ Biafra. Ka ha rabụ ndị ikwu ndị ka ha wee megide eziokwu gị. Bụ mbọ nke anyị onwe anyị na-agba ụbọchị niile onye nwe m na Chineke nna. Ihe ga-abụ nke ndị dị etu a. Ma anyị niile bụ ndị nwe obi ụtọ na obi aṅụrị n'ime gị. Anyị niile bụ ndị nwe ezi ịhụnanya ebe nzọpụta gị nọ. Mgbe niile ka anyị na-asị nna nke dị nsọ na anyị ga-ebuli gị elu, ọka aka anyị ga-ebuli gị elu. Nwanne otu onye anyị na-ebuli gị elu. Anyị na-asị gị biko na eze Ebube dị Ngozi. N'otuto niile na nsọpụrụ niile dara aha nsọ gị eze ndị eze. Site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi. Ise, ise, ise. We must proceed therefore unstoppably this very evening from this very location to preach this very gospel that we have been given to preach. I am sure that some of you brought your pen and your paper with you. And for the Janjaweed, those of you that have not moved on from their slate and their chalk, that you are trying as much as you can at least to graduate into the use of a pencil and a piece of paper. I welcome each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. And I do like the debate that is raging everywhere. I love debate. I love it. And hopefully one brave soul will abandon the habitation of gossip that is Facebook and meet me live on air on Friday, Chukwukika Biama willing. You will come on air and we will debate live. You will co-host the program with me. So it is not an issue of anybody being disconnected. Because I know that the workers of iniquity and idol worshippers, we know that all the forces of darkness are gathering against this unstoppable march of light. But I want to prove it to the whole world, especially to those who are listening, that darkness can never defeat light. That is why I challenge anybody, if you claim you are intelligent, Friday morning, 7 a.m. in the morning on Friday, I will add you on Skype and you will co-host the program with me. If after that very program, you still regard yourself as a human being, then I will know you are intelligent indeed. But I can assure you categorically and without any hesitation nor prevarication that you will not survive it. You can. Nobody can. If you claim you are learned, you come forward. If you claim you are learned, abandon the realm of gossip that is Facebook I challenge that very individual. So, from then on in, you will not be able to show your moronic face in public anymore. That is who we are. Some of them say we are arrogant. That is your prerogative. We are the way we are because we are blessed. We are the way we are because we do things that other black people can never ever do. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. We are the way we are because we are IPOB. We are the way we are because we are unstoppable. We are the way we are because Biafra must be restored. It doesn't matter what you do, how you grumble, how you complain, it is inconsequential. The only thing that matters is freedom. And that's what we are pursuing. We have not come here to embellish or to decorate words. Never. If you want that, you go to the British of 1887 to 1960. Or should I say to the British that is remote controlling your useless, hopeless lives till this very day. Some are upset that we insult them, the type of language we use. The type of language we use so that you may be able to reason. Are you not reasoning now? Are most of you not now reasoning anymore? But before we go any further, there is a clip that has been played everywhere. It's gone viral. It's been analyzed and interpreted from every dimension. But in keeping with our tradition here, on this hallowed platform, we shall dissect that very video this evening. For the world to know where your problem is coming from, those you should be upset with. Don't be upset with IPOB. You should be upset with your inability. You should be upset with your idiocy not to recognize the dangers in front of you. People are getting upset because of how they are spoken to, not because their mothers are being raped and their daughters abducted. That is what I say about the brain of a black man. It is warped. Everything is always upside down. You are not concerned about people who are being slaughtered. You are concerned about the message, or should I say this, the way the message was delivered to you. That is how foolish some of you are. You are irredeemable anyway. You have been tutored and schooled under a system presided over by Janjaweed Alamajiri. I don't expect most of you to be discerning and to be intelligent enough to take the message and not the way the messenger is dressed. We must proceed. I will play this same video again, please, and I want it to be posted. This same video about what Britain did to most of you, if not all of you. If not all of you. Listen to it very carefully, and then we will be able to analyze it. Because this is where every problem that I have with the brain of a black man is encapsulated in this very video. Everything, every problem that I have with our inability to reason, I keep harping on it all the time. Forget about the semantics, forget about the romancing of the words. We are not here to romance words for you. We are here to let you understand the stupidity you're in and to get yourself out of it. Listen to this. Maybe then some of you will appreciate the degree of the mess you're in.
And Mrs. Carol Smith.
Listen.
Thank you. May I say how delighted we are to be on Passion.
The British man with a wife.
To an African television station.
Yes.
Decades. This is something we have looked forward to for such a long time, and we are so happy to be here.
Thank you. Mr. Aaron Smith was a young, bright, and principled Oxford University graduate.
Oxford.
He was recruited by the colonial of
the same Oxford that most of them went to. I went to Oxford, I went to Cambridge, I went to Princeton, I went to Harvard. I want you to see, to understand, to appreciate how somebody who is properly educated I want you to understand their level of consciousness. I want you to understand how people who are genuinely educated, how they speak, how they behave, and the type of conscience that they possess. Unlike most of them in Africa, unlike most of the baboons that claim they went to Harvard, we went to Cambridge, we went to Yale, we went to Princeton. Garbage. All rubbish. This is a white man with a wife. I want you to listen to what this man has to say. Compare it with the level of cowardice and iniquitousness that you have in the zoo from those that went to the same school that this white man went to. Understand what he's trying to say. I want all of you who are concerned about the way we deliver this message to see where your idiocy comes from, to direct you to where your anger should be channeled to. Not messing about and faffing about on social media. We want you to reason. And until you reason, we will continue to preach this gospel the way we do. Any day you rise up in the morning and you're concerned about the death of your people in Enugu, then I will respect you. Any day you rise up and you're concerned about what the Mietiala is doing in Ebonyi State, then I will be respectful of your person. Any day you wake up in the morning, you understand that Delta State is gone, then I will respect you. Any day you get up in the morning and you understand that Willie Obiano is an agent of Janjaweed, that day I will respect you. Any day you wake up in the morning, you understand that there is something wrong for somebody to come from a fourth position to be declared the winner by a Fulani Supreme Court, that day I will respect you. Any day you rise up in the morning and get convulsed by what is happening at Lord Banta and now at Okwa, where people come from Mauritania, from Mali, from all across the Sahel to Abia State to live in the forest, that day I will have regard for you. Any day you wake up in the morning and you understand the desperation of the Janjaweed jihadists to take over River State, that day I will respect you. Any day you wake up in the morning and understand that those of them from Nigeria, the Zoo people, that claim that you're friends, whereas all they're trying to do is to put you down, to subjugate you, to enslave you, that day I will respect you. But until that happens, you are a baboon and you're a monkey, you are nothing, you're a pseudo-intellectual, you know nothing, your brains are empty. And that is why you have no electricity, you have no running water, you have no good schools, you have no hospitals. That is why you find solace in hiding under what? The style of the delivery and not the substance itself. That is why you are beneath a human being, and that is why I would rather befriend or be close to a chimpanzee than to be close to any of you liars, deceivers, and cheats. All of you, hypocrites. This man went to Harvard. Sorry, he went to Oxford. Many of them went to all these Ivy League, I call them Ivy League universities in Europe and in America. This is how a white man behaves. No matter what you say about what, I remember I told you before that even in Britain there are good people in Britain. I told you that many, many times. That British people on average are conscientious, they are good people. Forget about their government. Listen to this man. This is, should I say, the fulcrum of what we're going to discuss this evening. Listen.
Office and posted to Nigeria. He took his final examination a year ahead of his class. He also married Mrs. Carol Smith, whom he met while they were both at Oxford University. Yes. Together they went to Nigeria, where they had their 2 children. Mr. Carol Smith, you were featured in a program recently by BBC Radio 4, titled Document, and that was hosted by Mr. Mike Thompson. You are alleged that the British government rigged the first and most important election in the history of Nigeria in 1959 in favor of the North. Am I correct?
Yes.
Did you understand the question from the interviewer? The interviewer is a black man. Some of you have seen this clip. But in keeping with the brain of a black man, we don't delve into issues, we don't analyze it properly. No, we don't. This man is trying to let you understand the history of rigging in Nigeria. He wants you to understand who brought in rigging. I was watching a black brother in America today, an activist, with his assault weapon and his side pistol. Do you know what he said? A black American, he said in the main that black people are innocent and good people. That some white folks introduced evil to them. I want people to understand that had Britain not brought in rigging, Britain, had they not brought in rigging into the zoo, there would be no rigging today. I want all these pseudo-intellectuals, all these professional petition writers for hire. Any politician that we deal with, he will go and recruit some idiots, 4 or 5 of them to be writing rubbish. I want to tell you, all you zoo animals in Nigeria, this is where you should be channeling your anger and your desperation to these people that caused you unbearable pain and suffering, not just for generations before you, but for your children and your children's children, so that you place your anger properly. That is the thing about black people, they don't reason very well. They don't know how to channel their anger. Somebody came from somewhere, took you away in chains, tied you up in chains, gave you their God, you accepted it. No problem. Somebody's coming and telling you the truth, and you're saying it's an insult. And you're saying that God, those people are worshiping, you will not worship it. But somebody came and took you away in chains. I mean, do you see how funny you look? Listen, please.
How long were you in Nigeria for?
From 1955 to 1960.
Yes.
And we were based in Lagos. I was on the staff of the Department of Labour. I was largely occupied with employment problems, all the employment exchanges, and statistics, and international reports, and was kept pretty busy. I was also stationed in Lagos in charge of the capital and the port. I was the port labour officer as well. And I also devised a port labour scheme, and later a social security scheme, which was one of the first in Africa, which guaranteed workers some income after they'd finished work. It was a provident scheme. As I say, it was called the National Provident Scheme, and I was very proud to have put that on the statute book.
This was the man who brought in pension into the zoo, the way you know pension. If you're a pensioner, if your dad or your mom works for the government and benefited from the pension scheme, this is the man responsible for introducing pension into Nigeria. So you must take what he's saying very seriously. That is why I said that the build up to it, I have seen people analyze this, but I don't think actually the people don't understand the gravity of this very interview. People don't know how deep it is, because encapsulated within what this man is saying or what he had said in the past lies all your problem. And the fact that you cannot see it is because you're a black person. You cannot see. Your brain is not fine-tuned enough to grasp very salient points when they say it. This is the man responsible for bringing in pension scheme into Nigeria. This very man, Mr. Smith, with the wife, being interviewed by a black journalist. Let's continue.
I was going to ask you what your role is. You've mentioned 3 important. Is there any particular name given to your office while you were there?
Just labour officer. I was a labour officer, a senior civil servant.
Okay.
I only intended to stay in Lagos initially.
Listen.
For 2 tours of duty. although because of this conflict with the elections.
Conflict with elections. Please, I want people to listen attentively, please. The only thing I'm doing in life is I just want black people to reason. Even for 1 second. Only 1 second. 1 second only. Just reason for 1 second. Forget all your petty envy and jealousy and greed. We'll deal with that later. I just want you to listen and be truthful to yourselves for once, that you may learn what we have learned. That is why IPOB is undefeatable. You cannot. That is why no matter how much you yap your rubbish and write your garbage, if you go back to the house, your wife will ask you, Nani, have you heard what IPOB said today? I want you to pay attention. This very clip I'm playing, this video, is the most important video in the history of Nigeria. It is the most critical. This very video. That's why we must be patient. We will listen. It's about 24 minutes. We will listen to each and every word that comes out of this man's mouth. Very important. Listen, please.
There were difficulties. Actually, government wouldn't let me leave the civil service.
They didn't want him to leave.
They were determined that I should stay in the civil service.
They wanted him to stay.
After my 2 tours. And I was offered very considerable incentives.
Like?
Including a knighthood.
Knighthood.
To stay and work for government. Primarily this was because I had access to state secrets. I learned, and the government...
He had access to state secrets. So to keep him quiet, they offered him knighthood. Listen, please. What are those secrets that this white man, that is an Oxford-educated white man, a top civil servant in Lagos during colonial days, the man who started the pension scheme in the zoo? Why did they offer him bribe of knighthood? Why? What is that thing he knows? Listen.
Governor General himself confirmed this to me, that the elections were rigged.
Elections were rigged?
The intention was that the North should rule Nigeria.
Are you listening? When Tony Blair came, where did he go to the North? Why is it, have you ever asked yourself this question? Why is it anytime there is money for anything, he always goes to the North? World Bank, North. Gas pipeline, go to the North. Refinery, Kaduna to the North. Everything to the North. Why? Because Britain wanted the North to rule. Britain wanted the North to rule. By North, I mean Janjaweed, the Fulani. Because they are very stupid and useless and easy to control. They are the only people that abandoned everything, their way of life, their culture, everything, and absorbed everything Arabic to their name. That if we begin to reel out all the names of the Janjaweed or Minyeti Allah in high political offices, it sounds as if you're in Saudi Arabia, calling out the ministers in Saudi Arabia. Britain understood that with their Al-Majiri Rankade the culture, that the Fulanis can be controlled. Why was it easier for Britain to control the Fulanis? Exactly the same reason the Janjaweed have today over the likes of Mohanese and Dioshin and Diama and the rest of the very greedy pack, I call them, the envious pack. Why? Because there is only one thing you need in life for you to become an agent of an oppressor. You must be an envious bastard. You must be an envious person. Do you know why Britain chose the Fulani? Because the Fulanis had a natural hatred for anybody who is educated from the South. For anybody who is a progressive. They didn't want it. There's something now, if you look at everybody that has fallen prey to the march of the Janjaweed to colonize and Islamize the South, all those with a chip on their shoulder, people who are very envious by nature, people who are driven by jealousy. I don't know if I'm making this point very clear. I don't know. Listen carefully, please. It is just like your body. The only way a virus can attack your body is if your body's immune system, your defense system is very weak, either through stress or illness or whatever it is. If your defense mechanism is strong, your antibodies, your white blood cells are very strong, it is bring it on. Any virus that comes will be attacked. The same thing happens in real life. A fertile ground for betrayal must be built on envy, greed, and jealousy. With those three things in place, you are now a prime candidate to be converted, to subvert the will of your people, to sabotage them, and to become a frontline traitor. What the Fulanis were doing was treachery. Treachery not just against themselves, but the whole of Africa as a whole. And Britain was using them to accomplish this. But the idiots, because of their envious nature towards an Igbo man, towards the South, the entire South, they could not see that what they were doing was counterproductive. This is what I want black people to understand. Blacks don't understand this. They never reason this far. Because anytime you see a black person working against the interest of his people, forget about financial considerations. Of course, that plays a very big part if you're an Igbo man. Look at the underlying causes. It's always envy. I cannot be like them, so let me work against them. I cannot be as consistent as IPOB. I cannot be as unbribable as IPOB. I cannot be as gifted as IPOB. So the next best thing for me is I will hate them. And in their state of hate, born out of envy, anytime the Janjaweed comes from the north or from Abuja, a politician comes to them to say, oh, this thing they're doing, why don't you fight against them? You see them, they rise up immediately. And they start writing rubbish. Exactly. Britain used it on, I told you before, they used it on the Fulanis and it worked perfectly well. Till today. I keep asking people, where is Aburi? I don't know what is. We want to restructure. Obasanjo is saying we restructure. Tinubu will let us restructure. We must restructure to move forward. It was better. And I keep asking this question and nobody wants to answer. Where is the Aburi Accord? Where is it? One of the signatories is alive. You went to a conference, you agreed on something. Go on. Where is it? Where is that document? To say for all this nonsensical garbage about restructuring, not restructuring. Where is Aburi? Being a typical slavish, moronic black man, of course, and the devil's incarnate that Gowon is. Gowon is busy. This is a typical black man, busy praying, saying he's praying to, of course, to Lucifer. He's busy praying. Whereas the document that could have solved all the problems is somewhere in his cabinet in his house. Why won't Gowon bring it out? Because Gowon and his people are envious of the industry and ingenuity of a Biafran man. The reason why Aburi was not implemented, I want people all around the world listening to understand. I'm speaking very calmly today. To understand the genesis of our problem, to understand that the way a white man reasons is different from how a black man reasons, and that is why we're in the mess we're in today. That's all, nothing more, nothing less. Because a black man does not see rivalry, a black man doesn't see banter, a black man doesn't see healthy competition. Where there should be competition, oh, let me try and be like him, let me try and be like her. They bring in envy, let me hate them. Because I cannot do what they are doing. That's all. As soon as we understand this very simple problem, all of our problems are solved. They used Fulani because Fulani had one thing then, a hatred for the educated South. So Britain felt, people who are schooled in divide and rule, the best thing to do is to give power to illiterates. to cattle rearers. Let them start so they will mess everybody up. So even the Britain that created the zoo, that is why I call Nigeria a racist construct. Britain that created the monster, the zoo, never had good intentions in the first place. Because if they did, there is no way that somebody preaching democracy, preaching good governance, preaching development and transparency will be till today actively involved in the rigging of election and in the subversion of the will of the people. Just tell me why they will do it. Why? If not out of, let us suppress them. You cannot, a virus cannot attack your body unless your immune system is weak. And what causes weak immune system is stress. Number one, stress. Number one, your immune system is down. Or maybe now 5G mass. And they say it's conspiracy theory, but go to South Africa, you see what is happening in South Africa? You know it is 5G mass. You will see it weakens your immune system so that when this deadly virus comes, you stand no chance. Go to South Africa, the first to launch 5G. Vodacom is on 5G, MTN is on 5G in South Africa, and they are falling like flies. We'll come to that later on. All I want is for black people to reason. If you don't get black people to reason or raise their level of consciousness to a particular level, you can never be free. We can never be free. No matter how hard we try, we can never be free. Because in the Western world, in Europe and in America, even in Japan, in all advanced economies, from kindergarten, from nursery school, they begin to teach them their rights. And after teaching them their rights, they'll tell them that don't allow anybody to trample on those rights, even if it means defending it with your blood. Do they teach us that? Of course not. Let's continue. Listen.
Have a nice. Okay, my wonderful people. I don't hear them. According to Igbo adage, it says, and I quote, that if it abanaka ejihe. I think we all here are educated and even more than educated to know our left from our right. You have listened to it and you have digested it, and I'm very, very sure you have gathered a lot of wisdom that come from this very news or this very broadcast. Anyway, whichever way you understand it, my main point here is to make sure that everybody, at anywhere where you find yourself, make sure that you are keep sharing this message. It is very, very important that you do. It won't cost you anything to share this message. Do it, and you will receive your blessing when the time is right. Well, my wonderful people, now hear me. I go take a bar break. Like this message, share it, comment on it, and make sure you subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos that will come your way. Bye for now, my wonderful people. Kenesian.